That's tomorrow. And that is it for us today. Okay, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that.
No, there it is. We are going to do Sting, yeah.
Okay, but...
Okay.
Yeah, I can't read it. There's no words on it.
Okay. Ready? Sure.
There's no words there. To play us out. What does that mean, to play us out?
Sting is going to do, it's a video, Sting video. Okay.
What is...
For credits.
I don't know what that means, to play us out. What does that mean? To end the show?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, go.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it.
Okay, in 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with a... I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
No. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live.
Right.
Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
Disrespectful timing. And close the blind, I never let the light in. Acting like a day one Romeo. Playing life at tiptoe, domino. Looking at my life when it feels to play out. An NPC, I forgot to sign up. Been here since 18, need a timeout. And on until it's lights out. The flash fire, time wasted, life faded. I needed you, desire, fake love is a vampire. Forever young and only getting older. The only thing I fear is an altar. Lost boys never get vertigo. Found and I killed you, yeah, here we go. Wishing his life was a movie scene. The hero's doing better than his wildest dreams. Angry at 18, he needs a night out. Make him forever young, oh, when it's lights out. Make me forever young, make me forever, make me forever young, make me forever young. Make me forever young. I lost you, flash fire, time wasting, life fading.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday, April 6th. What a crazy year this last week has been. Thank you so much for tuning in. This podcast isn't sponsored, but what we actually do is we try to support the finer things in life. If you do not have freshly ground coffee, turn the podcast off, please. Please, just turn it off. And when you go out and buy yourself a coffee grinder, you can then come back and then turn this podcast on. So the reason why we've been promoting that is because they're actually putting cockroaches and other really harmful types of chemicals into the pre-ground coffee. Don't be alarmed by it. We do have an amazing avatar suit that the creator gave us, which allows us to be safe and to actually not have to worry about those types of things. So just relax. If you don't have the correct coffee, just go out and get it, and then you can turn it back on and you can join us again next week. So I don't know what's going on here, but let's get this resized here. You should never, ever feel bad about wanting to change or reshape yourself into the person who you want to be. Just because people have an old image of you in their mind doesn't mean it's your responsibility to maintain that image. Okay, saying things like, "What will they think of me?" will only place fear in your heart and paralyze you from reaching your greatest potential. You actually deserve to meet the highest version of yourself during this and every lifetime that you experience. You can outgrow, renew, evolve as much as you desire. Keep working at it, okay? Don't give up. Keep doing your best and keep rising to be the best person that you can be. And sometimes sacrifice and being alone is what's needed, okay? All things are possible. Only though you are limited by who you think you are, okay? Who do you think you are on the other side of the screen? Are you an eternal, everlasting being that was created to become the greatest version of who you are? Or are you just simply a tiny speck on a blue dot flying through infinite outer space? I'm going to leave that up for you to decide. I know who I am. That's why I rise every single day just like that shining sun. Here it says, your home is an extension of your energy field. Let's think about this for our next week's homework, okay? Homework. Our existence, our surroundings, is our energy field. This is why practices like cleaning your home, rearranging the furniture, organizing your closet, and getting rid of objects that are cluttering your space can have a profound impact on your own mind, body, and spirit. And I know personally, this has had a huge impact on me. I've gone through some serious traumatic experiences with my surroundings, and then I've also worked very hard over years and years of time to create a peaceful, a garden, a blissed out, a zenful, a meditative state, a place where everything can be organized. And it takes hard work. Especially for me, it's been one of the hardest things is to keep organized, to have everything where I need it to be, to have a workflow, to have a laundry flow where the clothes go in, they don't stay on the bed for a week, everything gets made, everything gets put away each and every day. If you're feeling cluttered, if you're feeling like you're having issues, let's try working on rearranging, decluttering, and getting ready for this summer that's about to head our way. Okay, everybody, let's work on our home extension energy field this next week. Okay, it's all about frequency and vibration. And sadly, some just don't feel it. But if you feel it, I'm super excited that you're here. And if you shared the podcast, that is all we ask here. We have a small yet powerful team. We bring brand new music each and every week because the music industry sucks. They're just like the mainstream news. They just lie and promote disinformation and all the worst possible artists you could ever imagine. But here, we play the music that moves us, and we want you to share it too. So make sure you come back. We're going to get into the news. We got some memes, and we'll have some more spirituality to go through at the end of the podcast. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. It's Sunday, April 6th. And like I said, what a crazy year this last week has been. I'm RJ Shine, and I'm going to be back with the news after this.
I've been waiting a long, long time. From park benches and 3-pound wine, hopping sofas, my bike outside, connecting dots without a pen to draw the lines. And I can tell you just how it feels, losing time in a battlefield, with a boss that hates me, a girl who left me cause I can't afford the bills. If you feel life's got away, it's the same thing every day. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth it anyway?
Americans. Was it worth it? Absolutely. Come on, let's get into this. We got so much to talk about. Have you heard, have you seen that Mega actually is the fifth and highest degree of the Church of Satan? Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye, all the sorcerers and satanic witches and all the other masses that are being lulled into disaster. Yes, let's start it off and let's talk about the Mega Week in a minute. How could you not be excited about the energy that Caroline brings to the table?
Week, there were some historic announcements, so let's roll through it for the MAGA Minute. This week, Vice President J.D. Vance and National Security Advisor Mike Waltz took a trip to Greenland to reaffirm the United States' support for the territory. The president signed an executive order to eliminate predatory ticket resellers from the live entertainment market, which will put entertainment consumers first. And he was there with the one and only Kid Rock. The president signed an executive order to establish an investment accelerator to bring in more investments here in the United States. And Liberation Day arrived, with President Trump implementing a 10% global tariff and additional reciprocal tariffs on countries around the world who have been ripping off the United States of America and our workforce. The president sent a very strong message that Americans will no longer be taken advantage of by globalist trade policies. It's the golden rule for the golden age of American economic prosperity. We will see you for next week's MAGA Minute.
Cue the scary music. I mean, what do we have going on here in the good old US of A? It's actually not that old of a country if you actually look into the past history. All the talk about the tariffs, all the talks about making America great again. Let's look at these two characters here. So this one here was already president for 4 years, threw the election on himself, documented it all, filmed it, and created documentaries about how this guy stole it from him, but it was him who did the stealing. But let's get down to it. Yeah, they're both Zionists who believe in the Ashkenazis' right to have a homeland, call themselves the Jews. They're supposed to be the descendants of Israel, right? Hebrews, here we got added $8 trillion to the debt. Okay, if people don't know what causes inflation and issues in the country, adding debt, right? He signed a $6 trillion bill to the Federal Reserve when he started the rollout of the shutdown of the entire world during the coronavirus pandemic. What did Biden do? Yeah, he added $8 trillion to the debt too. So just these two characters here is just an astronomical, an unrealizable number. To think that they could add this many trillions of dollars. Supported lockdowns. They're both absolutely, he's the father of the jab. He got jabbed on TV a few times. Pro-Federal Reserve, pro-kill Gates, both work for the Rothschilds. Trump was so bad in business. He was such a bad businessman that Wilbur Ross from the Rothschild banking dynasty had to come in and say that, yeah, we'll bail him out because his name is just too important. And they're both into the Rockefeller-funded destruction of the USA. The Rockefellers pushed all the different malinformation into the schools. They were the ones that created the pharmaceuticals. They've used everything that they can do with oil, put it in all of our foods, all the plastics, everything they can do. The Rockefellers are some of the most satanic families in the history of this existence. But let's get into some more of the tariffs.
I've been ripping off our country for far too long.
Ripping off. So she's going to start off with people have been ripping off. So the United States of America has been the most powerful country in the world. They've been going to all the other countries in the world, throwing in, changing the regimes, changing in who's running the countries, putting in people that did what they wanted, taking resources, oils, diamonds, gold, whatever it is. The USA has had their hands in it, including the opium market, which is one of the largest markets in the way that this world is run. And so she's going to open it off with the USA is being ripped off. Everybody's trading in their currency. They've been the dominant nation in the world for at least the past 30 years. But no, they're going to get ripped off.
Fortunately, these countries have been ripping off our country for far too long. And they've made, I think, their disdain for the American worker quite clear. If you look at the unfair trade practices that we have, 50% from the European Union on American dairy. You have a 700% tariff from Japan on American rice. You have a 100% tariff from India on American agricultural products. You have nearly a 300% tariff from Canada on American butter and American cheese. This makes it virtually impossible for American products to be imported into these markets, and it has put a lot of Americans out of business and out of work over the past several decades. So it's time for reciprocity. And it's time for a president to take historic change to do what's right for the American people, and that's going to take place on Wednesday.
So historic change. I mean, she's talking about butter being expensive in Canada for people to buy it, when Canada has, pretty good butter of their own to sell, and all these other countries. She's talking about going to war, right, over the fact that rice costs too much in Japan when they have their own rice fields. I mean, it's just crazy to think that someone can come up here and create this narrative. And it's crazy how people aren't actually looking at it. You're getting the two sides. You're getting one side that tariffs are great, and the other side are saying that it's bad. It's literally a tax upon the citizens of that country. And the government takes the money and then gives it to the Federal Reserve. Look at this.
Tools for trade wars. They're a key part of economic independence. Before income tax was introduced in 1913, tariffs were the main source of revenue for the U.S. government. This allowed the country to fund itself and grow without directly taxing citizens. Tariffs protect American workers and industries from being undercut by low-cost, lower-quality foreign goods, allowing American businesses to compete and thrive.
So hold on. All the other countries, the tiny few tariffs that she explained, butter and rice, helps those countries and the businesses there locally thrive, right? They're not going to talk about all the other places where the United States, because of their dollar being the world currency and all the other benefits that they have with the oil market and everything, they're not bringing up any of those. So they're cherry picking which topics to say that we're being ripped off because of, when they're hiding all this fact. But then on the same side of their speech, they're telling you that this is important for us to tax our people.
This is to compete and thrive. By levying tariffs, we maintain jobs and encourage domestic production, both crucial for national security and prosperity. Tariffs also help the U.S. negotiate better trade deals, pushing other countries to lower their trade barriers in exchange. So, who would oppose tariffs? Globalists, corrupt politicians, and crooked elites whose only care is wealth and power. They take advantage of cheap labor and lax regulations abroad. They take advantage of you. Enough is enough. Tariffs are about valuing our workers, our consumers, and our nation. Let's keep jobs in America and use tariffs the way our forefathers did, to protect our economy and our future. We need strong economic policies. We need tariffs, not taxes. We need to put America first and begin a new golden age.
I mean, tariffs are taxes. They are literal taxes on the population. High ones too. Wait until all of this starts to actually fully kick in, like electronics, everything that's coming from China. We're going to get into that. President Trump's mindless tariffs, this is coming off The Economist, could cause economic havoc if you failed to spot American being looted, pillaged, and plundered by nations near and far, or it being cruelly denied a turn to prosper. Then congratulations, you have a firmer grip on reality than the President of the United States. It's hard to know which is more unsettling. The leader of the free world could spout complete drivel about its most successful and admired economy, or the fact that on April 2nd, spurred on his delusions, Donald Trump announced the biggest break in America's trade policy in over a century, 100 years, and committed the most profound, harmful, and unnecessary economic errors in modern era, is what The Economist is saying. And what I'm just stunned, shocked, dumbfounded is that people are acting like Trump has come up with this plan all on his own. What Trump is doing with tariffs is a well-planned by his financial advisors. It's not like it came to him just like out of the thin air. Hey, I'm going to start tariffing all these countries. He's been saying this rhetoric for over 30 years. He's just a showman, right? At first, there will be declines in some companies, but the Trump administration's plan is clear to reset manufacturing, right? While marketing companies will fall, manufacturing companies, they state, will grow, okay? Are we going to actually see that? Is the workforce ready? Are the people ready to actually get and back into work? All the people that don't want to go into the office anymore, all the different businesses that have been sold off, all the problems and economic disaster, we are going to find out. And here's why going against China, right, is doomed to fail. I don't even know how people don't see that this is actually disastrous, that it's being set up by the New World Order. It is the New World Order, right? They brought in their fake world order, the Klaus Schwabs, who we'll get to later, and they use that as the scapegoat. Look at here, watch this, while they're actually doing all this evil, wicked stuff on the other side of the screen. Reason number one why it's going to fail is China has alternative markets to the U.S. and the collective West. So when they took down all the other payment plans and SWIFT and all the other things like that, they started a chain of reactions where all the other countries started preparing for this, except for the USA, Canada, and most of the Western world. Number two, U.S. is heavily dependent on Chinese rare earth metals. The U.S. needs them for everything. Electronics to advanced weapon systems. So everything that we buy that has electronics in it is going to triple, maybe even quadruple in price. It's insanity what's going on here. Number three, U.S. depends on China for essential medicines, which mostly are pharmaceuticals. We're going to skip over that. Reason number four, U.S. can't stop China's technological rise. Well, I mean, everything that China has, they did rip off from the U.S. and Canada and other Western countries, but they're stating here that they can't stop it. Number five, many American companies are going to go bankrupt without being able to access the Chinese market. So China is now blocking any sales, so they're only talking to you. Caroline Levitt with her smile saying that we're getting ripped off. They're only telling you the few things. Rice, right? Cream in Canada. These are the things that they feel they're being ripped on, but they're not going to tell you about all the other places where a lot of businesses are actually making billions of dollars in these markets that are now closed. They're now cut off. So they're taking out the middleman, the little man, and anybody that's not in their team. Number six, Chinese economy is far more productive. This is what I'm talking about. Are these people ready to build these factories and to get back to work for lower wages, right? And how much are the American-made products going to cost now? Are they going to triple in price too? Last but not least, number seven, reasons why this whole trade war against China is going to fail. China's economic model is superior to America's. Okay, Chinese companies reinvest the profits into expanding production and research and development. American companies have shown time and time again that they just want to get filthy rich, right? We're going to see it. We're going to see what happens. We're documenting it all. Let's keep going. Let's hear from Reagan, who Trump ripped off. Making America Great Again was Reagan's slogan, right? Ronald did a good job. He was a good guy, an actor, just like all the other presidents, puppets, selecteds. But here we go. Let's hear what he thinks about tariffs.
The memory of the suffering it caused is deep and searing. And today, many economic analysts and historians argue that high tariff legislation passed back in that period, called the Smoot-Hawley Tariff, greatly deepened the Depression and prevented economic recovery. You see, at first, when someone says, let's impose tariffs on foreign imports, it looks like they're doing the patriotic thing by protecting American products and jobs. And sometimes for a short while it works, but only for a short time. What eventually occurs is, first, homegrown industries start relying on government protection in the form of high tariffs. They stop competing and stop making the innovative management and technological changes they need to succeed in world markets. And then, while all this is going on, something even worse occurs. High tariffs inevitably lead to retaliation by foreign countries and the triggering of fierce trade wars. The result is more and more tariffs, higher and higher trade barriers, and less competition. So soon, because of the prices made artificially high by tariffs that subsidize inefficiency and poor management, people stop buying. Then the worst happens. Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs. The memory of all this occurring back in the 30s made me determined when I came to Washington to spare the American people the protectionist legislation that destroys prosperity. Now, it hasn't always been easy. There are those in the Congress, just as there were back in the 30s, who want to go for the quick political advantage, who risk America's prosperity for the sake of a short-term appeal to some special interest group.
So, what do people think? Is Reagan lying? Is he not telling the truth? He's saying it's unpatriotic. It's the most destructive possible thing that you could ever imagine to create all these tariffs. Oh, but look here, look at this. The dollar recovers after tariffs fueled slump and goes up 1% versus the pound. Well, that's probably because the pound's currency is dropping because of the economic upheaval that the tariffs are causing. The dollar rebounded Friday, recovering some of the heavy losses suffered yesterday. Earlier, as President Trump's tariffs Slavo raised fears of U.S. recession. The greenback jumped 1% against the pound and won back some ground versus the euro and the yen. We're going to see this. And then look, the current upset related to the stock market is the perfect example of why the American people no longer trust the media. So you got the whole QAnon tards and trust the plan and all these guys, and they'll bring you their side of it and say, well, the drop here isn't that bad. Look at what it was like when Biden was the president, right? And they'll show you this just a tiny little drop compared to how low it was in 2022. This was all caused because of the inflationary period due to the coronavirus, where they just print money now. They have gone beyond the capacity of anyone with an intellect to even understand how the society hasn't already failed. It hasn't cost wheelbarrows full of cash to buy a loaf of bread because of what they did. $8 trillion Trump did during the coronavirus, and then $8 trillion that Biden did should have destroyed everything about every part of the economy we could possibly know. But here he is. He's going to come out. What's Trump going to say? And why? Why? Can you guys please? Can the most powerful man in the world, can he stop giving press reports in front of helicopters and jet airplane engines? Please? This is beyond annoying. Okay, I want to have good sound, quality sound. I don't want to hear the blades and the jet engines in the background. Can you just do the presser inside the building before you come out, please? Is it too much to ask?
Today are way down. The worst day of the year because of the tariff. So how's it going? I think it's going very well. It was an operation, like when a patient gets operated on. And
so now he's the doctor. Dr. Evil, Dr. Death is about what this guy is, the modern day Kevorkian.
It's a big thing. I said this would exactly be the way it is. We have $6 or $7 trillion coming into our country, and we've never seen anything like it. The markets are going to...
Again, that's $6 or $7 trillion out of the pockets of the Americans. It's not coming into the country. He's taking it from the country. Like, how could people be this retarded not to hear what he's saying?
The stock is going to boom. The country is going to boom.
Stocks are going to boom, huh?
The world wants to see, is there any way they can make a deal? They've taken advantage of us for many, many years. For many years, we've been at the wrong...
You're charging too much for the cream in Canada, you nasty son of a guns. Too much for the rice in Japan. How dare you? After what we did, bombing you to smithereens and firebombing your whole country.
Side of the ball, and I'll tell you what, I think it's going to be unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
People have to talk about
China.
$7 trillion of investment coming into our country.
Oh, okay. He's talking about Stargate, Project Oracle. The fact that they're going to start creating data centers to make sure that they can control absolutely everything. They already do. They just need more. It's greed, power, lust. They need more is actually what's taking place here. I couldn't even believe it. President Trump tells NBC while all this is taking place that he's actually seeking a third term. This isn't even a joke. Look at this. Trump says he's not joking about a third term and notes that there's apparent loopholes. There are methods, and more than one, but here off this post here, it says Trump claimed that there are methods which you could do it, including having Vice President J.D. Vance run for president next term and have Trump as his vice, and then Vance would just simply resign and allow Trump to walk in and do the job, okay? But there are others, too, he mentions, which are what they already do is wipe their asses with the Constitution. All they need to do is throw the Constitution out with an emergency act and he can thus become the dictator or king of the United States of America, which he already thinks he is. So we're going to see there could just be about anything. And Caroline Leavitt will come out and say, well, you voted for him. You mandated Trump to become the king of America. And all the Trump tards are going to have to eat it up. And then, we're getting some other crazy stuff coming on. He's talking about so he supposedly goes against. He pretends to go against the New World Order. And he's talking about how they're trying to use magnets for planes and hydraulic.
Like on tractors that can handle anything from hurricanes to lightning to anything. They use magnets. It's a new theory. Magnets are going to lift the planes up, and it doesn't work. And they had billions and billions of dollars of cost over.
Billions of dollars. Magnets. He's talking about magnets, people. I am not joking here. It's crazy the things that you hear, the stories that are coming out here. I mean, even this latest tariff that he's doing in almost Antarctica on the penguins.
Is doing is taxing penguins, not Putin. The only living things on those islands the penguins are there. There are no people.
No people.
They are the herd and McDonald Island. They are covered by tariffs. Russia isn't.
I mean, he's tariffing penguins, people. He's tariffing penguins. I mean, the penguins are ready to go. They're saying they're going to fight. Flippers up.
Let's do it.
Flippers up, Trump. You ain't taking us down. This is actually taking place. And then he's out here with his $5 million gold card. Look at this. It's a beautiful card.
You know what that card is?
Gold card.
It's the gold card. The Trump card, gold card.
Who's the first buyer?
Me.
What?
I'm
the
second. First. I don't know, but I'm the first buyer.
Why would he have to buy a visa? I mean, he's American, right? I mean, such weird stuff taking place here this day and age. I mean, here we go. Update. Once the U.S. takes Canada and Greenland, which is this is what's going to happen, everybody. This American is saying we will control all of the Arctic Circle, most of it at least, except for the, 40% that the Russian Federation holds. But as you can see here, he's got to take out Canada, United States, Denmark. They already sold a large chunk of it. Canada. I don't know how the United States of America got this huge chunk, but they did. What's going on here? What do you know about the technate of America? What do you know about tech support? Elon Musk's grandfather, Joshua Haldeman, was the leader of Technocracy Inc. in Canada. Technocracy Inc. was the organization that proposed the technate of America, or North American technate. Elon's influence within Trump's circle seems to have evidently revived interest in this whole idea. Elon's projects and companies such as XAI, Neuralink, Tesla, and Starlink aligns with technocracy's goal of replacing human governance. Oh, interesting, with machine control. Oh, we've heard that before, right? We're hearing this all over the place. From this perspective, North America is becoming a technocratic AI region, and his grandfather dreamed of it. So, Trump's desire to add Greenland, Canada, Panama Canal becomes less about mega and more about the old technocratic vision. How interesting. Technate of America. You can see here the actual true region that they want to create here. It's not cutting it off at the bottom of the U.S. and not having Mexico. It goes all the way down to Colombia. It says here, before North American Union idea, there was a Technate of America in the 1930s. It would have been a super state stretching from the Arctic to Colombia, ran by technocratic scientific elitists instead of elected crimitions. Are we seeing the revival of this old plan with Trump's territorial expansion plans? Absolutely. Now, not only are we seeing a revival of it, but this was what we've been living under. They're just making it more and more obvious. They're doing it through destroying these nations, creating lots of crime. We are absolutely seeing this. The North American technate. It called for the U.S. to be expanded in order to defend the continent. Where are we hearing those languages? From other tech issue people like J.D. Vance? The Technate of America was to include all of Canada, Greenland, Central America, the Caribbean, parts of Colombia, Venezuela, the Guyanese, consolidated into one superstate run by the USA. Besides defense, the natural resources and the natural boundaries stretching from the Arctic to Panama made an independent, self-sustaining geographical unit. The acquisition of these territories would be done through either purchase, negotiation, or the force of arms. By the end of World War II, the popularity of the technocracy movement had declined substantially. But today, it still remains a goal of the elitists and the New World Order scientific dictatorship. Interesting how they use the Club of Rome and all the other different distractions through the Bilderbergers and all the other things like that. And what they've really been doing is creating this North American Technate. The idea of the North American Technate spawned during, yes, you named it, which we're heading into, the even greater Make America the Greatest Depression again, where Americans looked in desperation to a variety of radical social and political solutions. One of the most popular, technocracy in short, technocracy is the belief that there are technological solutions to all social, economic, and political problems. The organization, Technocracy Inc., suggested that North, Central, and parts of South America should be merged into a single country ruled by technocrats, engineers, scientists, and members of a technically skilled and empirically driven elite instead of elected politicians and business people. Now, I'm not saying that this isn't a better solution than the one we have, but sadly, it's the same people who serve the same disgusting dark agendas, the same Luciferian, satanic people that are behind both sides. It's just two different factions of Satanists fighting against each other, and us good righteous people are the ones that have to deal with all of the fallout. The Technate would have been a cashless society. Where are we hearing that? Energy credits instead of money, and self-contained and self-sustaining entities. So we're getting the social governance. All the SGDs are all being rolled into one, where wealth is defined by the availability of natural resources, the expertise of its inhabitants, and the seamless integration of technology with governance. I mean, boy, oh boy, did the Rise and Grind and small yet powerful team come hit it out of the park with the actual plans of the New World Order. Is this the New World Order? Is this what we're walking into? Is this the agenda? Is this what the Great Trump Depression is going to bring about? We will see. It definitely looks like we are in this situation. North American Technate. Why have you never heard of this on the other side of the screen? Why has no one ever shown you this? Why is this the first time that it's being spoken on the internet in a podcast platform? This should be everywhere. It should be on every Twitter. It should be on every TikTok. It should be on every Facebook post. It should be all over Instagram. Everybody should be saying, hey, what's going on? This conversation needs to happen. Do we want engineers, scientists, technically skilled, empirically driven, elitist people to run the world? Or do we want the satanic version of that, which would be the government and the politicians? I don't want either side. I think what we need is people who are interested in working together with all these different facets to take over. We will see where this heads. Let's do a song break. We'll get into the second part of the news. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to the North American Technate. I'll see you after this.
I could care less. Everybody knows that I'm out of place. I don't look the part, I don't fit the frame. She reads my mind, she knows that I'm overthinking what I've been trying to say. I'm trying to play it off like I'm cavalier. Trying to fit into a new scene when your clothes only fit in 2015. You're the only one I really want to impress. Try hard and I wish that I could could care less. Everybody knows that I'm out of place. I don't look the part, I don't fit the frame. She reads my mind, she knows that I'm overthinking what I've been trying to say. I guess I don't see whatever she sees in me. Confidence doesn't come so easily when you're the guy who caught fire with the colored hair from the band with the song about underwear. Nobody cares, they're unaware. I'm fine, I swear. Am I cool enough? Everybody knows that I'm out of place. I don't look the part, I don't fit the frame. She reads my mind, she knows that I'm overthinking what I've been trying to say. Am I cool enough? Am I cool enough?
Am I? Are you? Come on, welcome to the Rise and Grind podcast. Michael Clifford with his brand new song making a debut on the Rise and Grind. Cool. Am I cool enough? Are you cool enough? What is going on? And if you've noticed, look at the beautiful sunrise and sunsets that we've got on the screen while these music songs are playing. And what you're going to notice is that sun is literally rising up and setting into the ground, with clouds in front of and behind it at all times. Isn't that crazy? What is going on in this virtual reality? I mean, there's a lot going on in this virtual reality, okay? I can't even believe what's taking place over in Canada or China, or however you want to say it. The liberals cannot be real people. They just cannot. I mean, how could they be real people?
So for 5 years now, the liberal Canadians have been trying to convince us normal people that paying a carbon tax means we save money. Like individuals save money.
It's true.
And if you're like, how does paying a tax save you money? It doesn't. It literally doesn't. So because we're going into an election, Mark Carney decided to take that carbon tax away just for us consumers. And already the prices at the pumps have decreased by 20 to 40 cents a liter across the country. And now they're bragging online that they're saving Canadians money. This is so painful. Honest to God, honestly, this cannot be a real country and these cannot be real people. Let me just show you this. Our policies are already hard at work. Gas prices are already coming down and we're putting more money back in Canadians' pockets. What the? These people who put the carbon tax in place and have been increasing it every year for 5 years are now realizing that if you don't pay a tax, you save money. And liberal Canadians online are like, yay! These are adults. These people vote. These people procreate. Somehow they hold jobs. I don't know how. And they drive. This can't be real. And then they're trying to go online. They're like, Para Poilievre's going to take women's rights away. You don't even know what a woman is, my guys. What? Canada's not a serious country. Please, let's make this election too big to rig. We cannot do this anymore. We cannot go on like this anymore. Liberals have evaded all logic. They've yeeted logic, out of the atmosphere. There is no logic. It's just gaslighting and NPC behavior and just repeating of whatever the CBC says. And then if you challenge their thinking from, a year ago when they were trying to convince us that paying more taxes would save us money, they don't even, they're like, I didn't do that. No, you guys. These people cannot be real. You cannot be real. How do you hold a job? How do you pay taxes? How do you pay bills? How do you guys even go through life if this is the level of thinking that you have? There's no way this is real.
Yeah, I agree. It's tough. The sad thing is that Poilievre isn't the savior. Right? Voting in somebody else is not going to fix it. Burning down the Parliament building in Canada is going to fix it. Taking them all out, not for lunch, is going to fix it, right? These people cannot be trusted, not a single one of them. Poilievre is the exact same thing, just brought to you as the false other side. right? They need to have the division. No house that's divided shall stand. And it's crazy. The energy coming out of this Poilievre campaign is putrid. This guy should easily be able to kick Carnival Carney's ass. But you get this milquetoast, like warm soup with soggy bread in it, energy from this guy.
Keep top priority. And that's why we need to focus on maintaining the link. If a worker loses his job, it's much harder, longer, and actually more expensive for the government to try and get him back into employment than it is to try and keep him working in the interim period while this dispute is on. The Conservative government, if elected at the end of this month, will launch a Keeping Canadians Working Fund, a targeted temporary loan program for businesses that are directly hit, helping them keep workers on the job. Very similar to the type of program that John Baird initiated when we were in the Harper government during the great global recession. Binding people to their jobs, keeping their paychecks going while we can get through this trade dispute will help keep the horizon bright and keep our economy stable.
The horizon bright? Who wrote this? Who is making this guy's content? They all need to be fired. This happens to be some of the worst political campaigns I've ever seen. That is just horrid. It's terrifying. It should be so easy to beat this clown. Trump praises quote-unquote productive call with Carnival Carney. Looks to work with the liberals. Trump is a liberal. For everybody that's tuning in, newsflash, he's not a Republican. He's not on the right. Trump is the leader of the left, and he's brought all the left people over with him too. Gabbard, RFK, all of them, liberals. QAnon. Here we've got U.S. President Donald Trump praising extremely productive call with liberal leader Mark Carney. Looks forward to having a call with him right after Carney wins this election or the already chosen election. Quote, Trump says, I just finished speaking with Prime Minister Mark Carney of Canada. Trump said in Truth Social post on Friday, it was an extremely productive call. We agree on many things. Trump indicated the two had discussed in another meeting after the election, signaling he's betting on the Liberal government. Quote, we will be meeting immediately after Canada's upcoming election to work on elements of politics, business, and other factors that will end up being great for both the United States of America and the 51st state, Canada, he said. Just prior to Carney was in Ottawa responding to Trump's latest rounds of tariffs, where a 25% tariff on all imported vehicles from every nation, he declared an end to the historic relationship between the U.S. and Canada. So many people are absolutely losing their jobs right now. There's just so much chaos taking place. People that are making cars, all this stuff is just wreaking havoc. The old relationship, Carney stated, with the U.S. is over now. Right? We've got to deepen our integration into our own economies and put our eggs in many baskets. He said Canadians will have to dramatically reduce our reliance on the United States. Yeah, on the neighbor that needs them, let's just start fighting with them. In the same interview with Laura Ingraham, Trump took shots at conservative leader Pierre Poilievre, saying he's stupidly no friend of mine. Trump blasted Poilievre again a month prior, saying he's not a mega guy. He's not a Trump guy. Of course, he's not make America great again. He is doing what his overlords tell him to do, to create division. And I mean, it's so boring. The fact that the two of them are now stealing each other's campaigns. Listen to this.
Carney taking some of your policies. Maybe you caught yesterday. Parts of his speech started to sound like parts of yours.
Yeah.
For voters looking at this, though,
look at this guy. Just a simple goy from the prairie, he says. I'm just a simple goy. Anybody can do anything, right? Simple shabos goy from the prairie. Yeah, look at how happy he is. Every time I hear this guy talk, I just want to fall asleep now.
Talk about responding to terror.
What happened to his energy? Where did it go? Election happens, all of a sudden, this guy's horrid.
I hear you talk about responding to tariffs, about making sure the Canadian economy is resilient.
Get a drink.
Outside of Bill C-69, which you made
take a deep breath.
You would not repeat. You made clear you would. Outside of that, how are voters supposed to look at both of you and say, okay, how are they different? Who has the best plan? Because often things are sounding similar based on how we...
I would grab this guy by the neck and throw him against a fucking wall. All of these liars, hermeticians, criminals, They need to be dealt with. These are not men. This guy's probably never even cut his lawn. He probably just never built anything in his life, but yeah, he thinks he can run a country.
Sounding similar based on how each of you are speaking. So what's the difference?
Well, sincerity.
Sincerity, huh? I'm a simple
Mr.
goat.
Carney opposed all of these policies for 10 years as part of the Liberal government. I mean, look, he advised Trudeau to print money and run up huge deficits that drove inflation. He opposes pipelines and energy production here in Canada. His policy on housing is the same as Trudeau's, building up monstrous bureaucracies in Ottawa. His latest is a $35 billion government construction company, which is going to build prefab tiny homes with no driveways.
Let's stop there. So this is what Canada's about to get. The government now is going into construction business with the tax money that they're stealing from their society, and they're going to start building tiny homes that don't have driveways. Tech Native America?
What could possibly go wrong? Building up housing bureaucracies in Ottawa has doubled housing costs during the lost Liberal decade. And giving Justin Trudeau and Mark Carney a fourth term will only make it worse. Then there's crime. Mark Carney supports the entire radical catch and release, hug a thug.
Hug a thug. So the last time I was living in Canada, sure, there's some crime, but it's a pretty, pretty clean, humble, like baby country in the world, and there's barely any crime there. But apparently now, because of Trudeau and Carney, there's just people are just getting mangled, shot, raped, killed, murdered, and they're just releasing these people into the wild. Just here you go back, you're free.
Criminal justice policy that has turned our streets into war zones.
War zones. It's a war zone in Canada now. Sure, there were shootings in the ghetto all the time in every country, but I mean, are the towns in suburbia, are they war zones? Are people like doing drive-bys at like regular places?
Cities. He supports
it's just lies.
Distribution of tax-funded drugs. And he continues to stand by the entire Liberal agenda of the last decade. If you want to know what the Liberals will do with a fourth term, look what they did with the last 10 years. If you want to know what I'll do, look what I've been saying for the last 10 years. It has
tiny homes, right? They're going to build no driveways. Nothing is going to change. Inflation's going to go up. There's going to be more debt. There's going to be more, poverty. And the elitists like Carney are going to get even richer. And Trudeau, Castro, we should say, his true last name. I mean, this is the agenda. This is what they're actually pushing forward through. Red flag here. Carney called to freeze Freedom Truckers' bank accounts. Said protesters were seditious. I mean, come on. Unearthed op-ed from February back in 2022 by Mark Carney provides Canadians insight into how the new Prime Minister views the rights of the actual Canadian citizens. In the wake of the Freedom Convoy, protests gripped Ottawa. Carney 1 week into those protests, and just before the use of emergency acts by then Prime Minister Justin Castro made it clear that he was in favor of freezing bank accounts of Canadians, cutting funding to the protest, and even calling the movement seditious without evidence. Carney declared that those who donated to the protests were actually funding sedition, or you could say terrorism, and referred to the organizers' actions as blatant treachery. One has to wonder if it was Carney who came up with the idea to actually freeze the accounts, as he had served as an advisor to the Prime Minister at that time. He described, get this, the balloon bouncy castles and a grassroots, completely peaceful movement as dangerous infrastructure that was being reinforced by those funding the movement. I mean, there were kids everywhere. They were giving out soup. And I mean, you got to love some of the Canadians. They were out there. It was like minus 30. They were out there having a good time and singing songs and bouncing in bouncy castles. There was nothing unpeaceful about it. They were trying to get them to open up the country again. People were suffering due to the coronavirus. Kids weren't allowed to play hockey anymore. You couldn't even go to the gym anymore. I mean, it was just an absolute nightmare there. And these Canadians were out there in the freezing cold. This wasn't like 15, 20 degrees. It wasn't beautiful weather. They were in the minus very frigid weather, having a good time in bouncy castles. And these assholes, these son of a bitches who need to be thrown against the wall, shut all their bank accounts off and called them terrorists. But now in its second week, no one should have any doubt, said Carney. This is sedition. That it's a word I never thought I'd use in Canada. It means incitement of resistance to or insurrection against lawful authority. Kids bouncing in bouncy houses. I mean, I've never seen anything like that before in my life. What followed, yes, was the freezing of bank accounts by the RCMP. Even podcasters who just hate Canada now, and I mean, Joe's a clown anyways, but Joe Rogan, who cited it as an example of, the rights of Canadians lost, right? Shutting down the GoFundMe, all this other stuff that took place. $1.2 million came from outside of Canada, and 88% of it and 86% of the donators for this whole thing was actually Canadians who wanted to have their country open up again, right? This is the guy that you're going to select. So we know that the votes don't matter. In Canada, apparently you vote for a party, and then that party gets to select who their leader is. The whole thing is a joke. They have a torture device in the Parliament building, an ASP. They beat the shit out of people with it, and they can't convene. They can't do anything unless that thing's on the table. Yeah, wait till that thing's in my hand, and you see what's going to take place. Carney hid his company's money in Bermuda. Look at this. To avoid the same taxes that the Liberals have hiked up for everyday Canadians. The carbon tax, the reason why the gas has gone up to over 50 cents a liter, not a gallon, Americans tuning in. These are liters, dollars on the liter. He could have chosen Canada, but instead, Carney sheltered his company's money overseas and moved his headquarters out of Canada into the United States of America. Carney put Canada last. Canadians can't afford a fourth Liberal term. Again, these are Poilievre's talking points, but he lacks the energy or the tenacity to actually bring forth the evidence and truth in his speech. You're going to fall asleep if you listen to him. So this guy hid his money in Bermuda, caused everybody to become super poor, shut down everybody's business. Those that wanted to open the country back up, he had their accounts frozen, right? Frozen. Global Affairs Canada is a cesspool of money laundering. All these people need to pay. They need to be held accountable. Melanie Joly spent $351 million out of the door in 2024, knowing Parliament was about to prorogue or just shut down. A sneaky settlement to dodge scrutiny. Canadians deserve answers. They hid everything, right? Oh, they're afraid that Doge is coming from the technate. In other news, what's going on over against Russia and Ukraine? Well, let's hear what Putin has to say this week. And there's very reason to believe, as I said recently, we're going to crush them. Then we will finish them off. I think the only thing left is for the realization to come to the Ukrainian people and themselves and what's happening. And the fact is, armed forces are gaining momentum. They're acting more and more effectively. So Putin's not backing down. They're ramping things up, supposedly, and they're about to storm even harder into the Ukrainian territory. And what do the Chinese say? China will intervene militarily on the side of Russia anytime, anywhere if NATO officially enters the war against the Russian Federation. So nothing's calming down. You know, Trump's not stopping the world wars. He's not fixing anything. He's making it worse. It's only going to get worse. The only thing we can do is pray and hope that the Creator sends help and these criminals can actually be held to justice. Let's do a song break and we'll get into the last section of the news. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Happy Sunday, April 6th. What a crazy week this last year has been.
You're my wonder, a song that you'll forget. So I'll strum these fucking chords until I'm stuck inside your head. And still no science working. My bottom dollar's in your hands. Well, that's good for nothing. You've led me on since I was 13. Still I'm Chuck Cusack singing on your step. Can you hear me? I'm not going home, not going home, not going home. If you hold me close, you'll save my soul. You're my to me. I'd sell my soul for just a kiss. One kiss. And I cry for help, but you're not listening. I lose myself, take you with me. What's another 10 years if maybe then you'll know. I'm not going home, not going home, not going home. If you hold me close, you'll save my soul. You're my wonderwall. I'm a song that you'll forget. So I strum these fucking chords until I'm stuck inside your head. How I want you more than I want anything. Give up everything I love, just give me something to believe. So cut me loose. If it's never gonna work with me and you, it's my heart you'll choose. If I ever get a chance to see this through, 'cause you're my wonderwall. I'm a song that you'll forget. So I strum these fucking chords until I'm stuck. I'm stuck. How I want you more than I want anything. Give up everything I love. Just give me something to believe.
Come on! Games we play. That's Games We Play. How I Want You More Than Anything I've Ever Wanted in My Entire Life, or better known as Wonderwall. Great song by Games We Play. Get the energy lifted up. I mean, come on. Did you really think that they were going to release the Epstein files or the Diddy files? You know Trump's behind all of it. They were his handlers. Ghislaine actually introduced Elon to his former wife, his first wife. She set the whole thing up. I mean, Trump was there. You could clearly see that he was the handler of Puff Daddy and the handler, right, of Epstein. You can see that it was Trump's organization. Trump is the mobster. He's the one that had it all set up. Wake up. What's going on? You don't want to be around this rabbi guy. What a crazy 25 hours this guy stood up there and cried and acted like an absolute lunatic. You don't want to be around any of this rabbi. Oh yeah, they're the right now. The left has now become the right. I mean, we live in such a weird time. What's this, Rabbi Shmuley? I don't want to be anywhere near him. No, I don't think he's a descendant of Israel. I mean, and then there's this. I mean, this is just insanity what's going on here. Is anyone watching?
Clear. If you take part in the wave of domestic terrorism against Tesla properties.
Why does she seem looking so crazy? What is this? Like, this is creepy. This is like some of the scariest I've ever seen in my life. What is she talking about? Tesla vandalism?
Wave of domestic terrorism against Tesla properties.
It's the right attacking their own fake right who is actually left.
We will find you, arrest you, and put you behind bars. Today, I'm proud to announce that the Department of Justice has unsealed federal charges against another Tesla attacker.
Well, she was the Attorney General of Florida when Epstein got a sweetheart deal. Told to leave him alone. All he had to do was sleep some nights at the police station. They'd let him go during the day. So now apparently she's going to find you and they're going to destroy you if you key or burn. And all these Tesla vehicles got cameras 360 all around them. I mean, everybody knows that.
We've charged Cooper Frederick in the firebombing of a Tesla dealership that occurred on March 7th in Loveland, Colorado. All of these cases are a serious threat to public safety. Therefore, there will be no negotiating. We are seeking 20 years in prison.
Whoa.
The crime was committed in Colorado, and thanks to the great investigative work by the FBI, the defendant was arrested in Plano, Texas.
Oh, Plano.
Be a warning.
Shout out
You can
Texas.
Run, but you cannot hide.
I wonder if Will Duffy was behind that. Bob Enyart stuff always takes place in Colorado. This is the most satanic New World Order state you could possibly have. Breaking! Donald Trump just fired the U.S. Cyber Command. And also Klaus Schwab is stepping down as chairman of the World Economic Forum. I guess they're bringing in the new Technate option. What do you know about wind turbines and how horribly not green they are?
Don't last forever. The metal towers can be recycled normally, but the blades, a mixture of fiberglass, wood, and plastic, cannot. In the US, the cheapest option is to send fiberglass blades to landfills, which has caused some controversy. Just one blade is about as long as the wingspan of a large commercial jet, like a Boeing 747. And that's just on land. Offshore turbine blades can be twice as long. By 2050, there could be more than 40 million metric tons of blade waste piling up worldwide.
I mean, these assholes, they bring out everything that's toxic for the environment. Not only that, but let me tell you guys something here. These wind turbines, they actually disrupt the natural wind flows and currents that are used to actually regulate the earth, right? Creating crazy different droughts, dry seasons, atmospheric rivers, all types of things. They are absolutely more weather modification tools than they are making power stations. What is it? 40 of these or 80 of these to make one just water boiling? Now, nuclear is a hoax. Check out Galen Windsor. He literally eats plutonium. He eats it. He swam in the cool-off pools, okay? All they do is boil water and turn turbines and make energy, enough energy to power everything 1,000,000 times over in the whole earth. And we live in a water world, right? It's just full of water. They just make steam. Steam turns to turbines. That's it. It's so easy. What they're doing is just destroying absolutely everything. These people, I mean, it had to happen so that we know that it'll never happen again. There's more news, don't you know? My whole old home state of Ontario, or they call it a province, just froze. Look at this. This is Aurelia, across the lake from where my family lives now. God, froze. Look at this ice storm. I mean, it's freezing here too. It's freezing here. I mean, it's luckily above freezing. It might fall. Holy shit. Ice Wonderland. Just crazy temperatures all over the world. Estonia had some crazy, they were up to like 15 degrees, then it went back down to freezing again. Here in Canada, similar actions took place. It all took place last week. Crazy weather again. Here's more footage from Aurelia.
Amazingly, it does look like the power's on here.
Yeah, they still got power.
Here, there's no way. I don't even want to go underneath that, so I'm going to be very careful here because
you should be careful.
Are coming down. I do not want them to come down on top of me, so I'm actually going to stand back just a little bit. But I'll show you the street there. There's just no way.
That's the street.
That street at all. Those are
wow.
Just so many branches down. I can show you a close-up look at the amount of ice here. Just everywhere I look, I see more and more ice. So I originally said, 5 millimeters of ice. Now it's 10. Now it's 12. The constant ongoing crackling branches coming down is just it's actually kind of a little bit frightening.
I bet.
Be underneath
crazy weather.
Just everywhere. Same scenes right across Barrie.
All Ontario, really, all southern Ontario. And these weather patterns and things like this are going to get worse. It's the man-made problems that are interfering with how the creation was made to flow. And it was all predicted in the scriptures that this would all take place. This is in South Texas. Crazy. They got houses floating away, buildings floating away, cars floating away. Just crazy what's taking place here. Crazy floods, generational floods, tornadoes ripping through the Midwest, through the United States, all the way from Texarkana to Michigan. It's just been insane. Also, the cicadas, which are some of the most beautiful possible sounds you could ever hear, and very elusive. I've only seen a few. Luckily, I have seen some. They crawl out of the ground. They actually hibernate and sort of like through reincarnation come back out of the ground. After spending nearly 2 decades underground, the new cicadas are said to emerge in droves, creating a spectacle that will be both seen and heard. Get ready for the insect phenomena that has been 17 years in the making. Starting this spring, when temperatures warm up enough, parts of the eastern United States will witness the emergence of brood 14 periodical cicadas. So we're going to be looking for that. I mean, a few more crazy things, more of this totalitarian, tyrannical people that need to be taken out and not to lunch. Over in France, Macron has jailed his opposition. Far right figured they call her, right? She's just the opposition. Le Pen has been banned from running for political office and found guilty of embezzling money, right? And we're talking about some of the dirtiest, snakiest people you could ever possibly imagine who take advantage. Now, they take advantage. Take advantage of people that are in places where they're, shouldn't be taken advantage of. Macron's ex-lover died of AIDS. His brother's coming forward to talk about this.
Dimitri.
Shocking revelation was made during an interview about the AIDS epidemic that's raging through Africa. So what's happening in Africa is they're being poisoned and targeted. They're literally pouring chemicals into the wells. They're literally driving around with songs like Ebola is real, and they're giving them diseases and they're destroying. So AIDS is the destruction, right, of your immune system. Okay, it has nothing to do with being gay. The whole entire thing was a targeted, just poisoning of the population.
Du sida sur le continent africain. Réolf Fleming, le fameux militant de la lutte.
African AIDS activist Réolf Fleming has admitted that his brother Dimitri
a admis que son frère Dimitri, qui est décédé à cause de la maladie,
who died of AIDS, had sexual relationships with French President Emmanuel Macron. He led a rather unbridled sex life, and his sexual partners were mainly men. He even had sex with Emmanuel Macron after his visit to St. Martin in 2018.
Avec le président français Emmanuel Macron.
With French President Emmanuel Macron, yes.
Fleming a déclaré que c'est la mort.
Fleming stated that it was his brother's death that prompted him to get involved in the fight against AIDS.
Incité à s'engager dans la lutte contre le sida. Selon les déclarations de
According to Fleming, his brother was homosexual and led a rather unbridled sexual life.
Réolf a aussi
added that one of his brother's lovers was Macron.
Emmanuel Macron.
So he's corrupt, but he's willing to jail anyone who goes against him. For several years, numerous rumors have been circulating in the French media
de nombreuses rumeurs dans les médias français sur l'homosexualité.
About the French president's homosexuality. The brothers met the French president during his 2018 visit to their native island of Saint Martin.
Saint-Martin est une île des
Saint Martin is a Caribbean island, half of which is part of the metropolitan France.
Cliché devenu viral.
A photo that went viral was taken during this meeting.
Sur la photo, on retrouve Macron.
The photo shows Macron, Raouf, and Dimitri all together.
Saint-Martinois, ou comme l'indique certains.
Saint Martin brothers, or as some media outlets report, cousins after meeting Macron, decided to radically change their lives and take the right path.
Il s'est avéré que
as it turned out, the friendship of Dimitri and Macron turned into a romantic one.
Malheureusement,
sadly, Dimitri has died now of
Actuellement,
AIDS.
Son frère Réolf.
His brother Raouf is currently involved in the fight against AIDS. So basically what's happening is they're murdering these people. Right? They're taking advantage of them. They're stealing their land. They're murdering them. And they're actually targeting gay people now. Gay and lesbians are being targeted. Okay, you can have talk about which is right, which is wrong, which is a sin, who's a good person, who's an evil person. Everything gets weighed into a balance. But what I'm here to say is that the actual people who just choose to live a different lifestyle than the normal one, which is the heterosexual lifestyle, those people who choose that different lifestyle are being radicalized. They're being targeted. They're being used to serve a greater satanic agenda. And it's something that we don't usually talk about here on The Rise and Grind. Somebody has to even stand up for their rights, right? People that are homosexual, gay, and lesbian are being attacked. They're being infiltrated. Their movements are being taken over and they're being destroyed. They're being used to propagate some of the most heinous and disgusting lies I've ever heard. I've never even seen anything like this. Let's hear this clip from a proud lesbian.
The acronym LGBTQ+ is not a representation of a united community, but the strategic force teaming of the LGB with the TQ+ that serves a dark agenda. to rebrand sexual fetishes and disorders as sexual orientations. For what was once a legitimate civil rights movement, gay rights, has been hijacked, quite literally, by the TQ+ and used as a Trojan horse to mainstream their degeneracy. First, we have the untouchable Ts, the trans cult, who want to sterilise children with puberty blockers, turn all homosexuals into surgical simulations of straight people, and destroy women's rights to enable men's fetishes. Then we have the Qs, young men feminised by sissy porn, furries and pups who fetishise bestiality, and even adult babies who fetishise infancy are all accepted and protected by the rainbow umbrella that magically transforms all scrutiny into bigotry. But the thing that requires the most scrutiny is the unspecified plus at the end, a placeholder for what's coming next. MAPS.
So it's very important that we drill in here and completely understand what's taking place. So the gay rights movement, the people that just decided that they wanted to be something different. And again, when we weigh the balance of everybody's sins here on this earth, or debts that we create, right? Your lustful debts are just one aspect of that. I want to make sure that everybody understands how clear I am, right? And what we're seeing is that activist movement was infiltrated and is being used to actually target those people. They are the ones who are being destroyed and targeted. And it's this plus. We've all heard the LGBTQ plus and all the other rhetoric and all the other stuff that's gone on, but have you ever actually thought about what that actually is? Why do they have just a blank check at the end of this movement? What is that plus symbol for?
Next, MAPS, or minor attracted people.
So now we're talking about pedophilia. This has got to be some of the most disgusting, perverted perversions ever brought into the actual open front. And this is what regular gay and lesbian people are now championing because of the mind control and the attacks upon their groups. And they don't even realize that they're actually going to be destroyed because of this.
A euphemism that is already being used to describe pedophiles who are waiting in the wings for their time to shine. Because the LGBTQ plus sexual psyop is not about promoting tolerance of diversity. It's about grooming society to accept depravity. And as an L, I renounce all association with it and the LGBs who are accessories to the fact. And I urge you to do the same and join the movement for LGB without the TQ+, because we need to divorce people and we need it stat.
I mean, it's important. These people are going to have their lives completely destroyed, right? Just because I read the scriptures and I'm an open Christian doesn't mean that I'm not going to stand up for everyone, right? For everyone that is a good person that does what they do. Everyone has the right to live the way they want to live, as long as they're not harming or affecting other people. And they need to be protected. And the gay and lesbian community are under heavy, heavy attack. And it's the most satanic, the most demonic, the most wicked agenda that you could ever imagine being infiltrated into the gay rights movement. And someone needs to stand up and speak about it. So here we did. Let's do a song break. Don't go away, because when we come back, we're going to get into the fun part of the podcast, the memes of the week. And I'll see you after this song break.
On the dashboard, she's lighting up a sky. Reckless backseat fuss and guiding city lights. Yeah, I'm scared of dying. But that's what makes it taste like sugar. Life is all or nothing. We were born to live fast, die young. We're gonna live tonight. We're gonna live out the window, oh, oh, racing from the low for the high. I don't wanna ever calm down. I can see the world from this view. We're gonna live tonight. We're gonna live tonight. Never kiss goodbye. We're gonna live forever. Is that so wrong? Is that so Is that so wrong? Is that so wrong? We're gonna live tonight. We're gonna live tonight. Never kiss goodbye. We're gonna live forever. Is that so
What a song! Come on, give it up for your favorite color and their brand new track, Forever. Is it so wrong? No, it's absolutely right. We just didn't know that everything had to be reset as we come back to continue to respawn, to reincarnate, to live forever. Everything that we've ever wanted and dreamed of is actually true and real, and we are going to have it. Listen, let's get into these memes of the week, okay? Thank you to everyone who made a meme that made it in today's podcast. Always do the opposite of what the media says, everybody. Always, always, always do not trust the media. Be careful. Watch out, okay? Here we are, Liberation Day. Happy America. Let's go Trump-tards, right? Let's go Trump-tards. Check this one out. What's hiding in the Epstein files, huh? What do you know? Is it that Trump has been the handler and he's the one using the blackmail? Is that how it works? And the what do they call the technocracy crew? They're the ones doing it here. Where's the fucking Epstein files? Nobody's talking about it anymore. It's just over. That's it. No more Epstein files. Sorry. That's it. No more Epstein files. Blackmailed politicians. Laws protecting Israel. The two seem to go up, as well as the Jesuits, right? It's not just the Jews. It's also the other J's, the Jesuits. They're the ones behind the scapegoat. Check this one out. If you heard about Russell Brand, Jimmy Seville says, I stand with Russell Brand. I mean, come on, whoever's making some of these memes up. Me waiting for the arrest to happen and the dangerous vaccines to be taken off the market. All the other Trump-tards have to see this. Operation Warp Speed, WEF, WHO, Epstein, the new technocratic state, Pfizer, UN, EU, Moderna, BlackRock, and NATO, Blackstone 2, and Agenda 2030. You're going to be waiting a long time. Here we got this. I said we elbows up Team Canada today. That whole elbows up thing. Even the Penguins are saying elbows up now. Until you removed a self-coil spring with zip ties, don't talk to me about fear. I mean, boy, that is terrifying. Check this one out. Look at me. I was a goalie, says Mark Crooked Carney. Right? I mean, what a joke this guy is. Elbows up, stealing Gordie Howe's words. If Gordie Howe was alive, he would smack you upside the head. Mark Carney's ego. My $35 billion plan to build 500,000 homes means that each house will cost $70,000. As a result, there'll be tiny homes, and none of them will be built with parking spaces. Well, what do you do without a car, you ask? Don't worry. You'll be able to walk everywhere within your 15-minute cities and 15-minute countries. That is the absolute plan. Let's keep going here. Welcome to China. When they say that global warming could make it colder, hurry, this global warming sucks. We should have paid more carbon taxes. Look at this one. There's a level of admiration I actually have for China, says Justin Castro. Their basic dictatorship is allowing them to actually turn their economy around on a dime. And China is absolutely run, controlled, and owned by the Rothschild family. The 13 Illuminati bloodlines, they own it. Everything that you see is a script. The Chinese people just work harder. They just do a better job. They're easily controlled, and that's why they're doing what they're doing there. Could the UK actually get colder with global warming? That's what they say. You don't live on a globe, and it's not warming, okay? Yeah, it goes through seasons, right? Winter, spring, summer, fall. Yeah, they have different temperatures in each one. Cycle. How to repopulate the earth. Kill Gates. Being put down. Absolutely. It's one of the best things you could do. Scary. Never, ever, ever is the best time to get a flu shot or any shots. You don't need it. You don't need to get GLP-1. You were not born with a deficiency in reptile venom. You weren't. Okay, it's not going to help you lose weight. Stay off of the Ozempics. Stay away from the reptile venoms. All the coronavirus shots, all the flu shots, every type of shot that they want to give you is reptile venom. It's poison. It's going to kill you. AIDS vaccine, reptile venom. This here, we showed you. We went through it during the coronavirus. That's why I'm not on YouTube. It's all snake and reptile venom. And they concentrate it and make it even more toxic, okay? Compliance. It's the new retarded. I mean, why would somebody take a picture of a Band-Aid over top of a reptile venom wound that they just incurred? It's ridiculous. Hey, you guys, 5 boosters, and I feel great. Get out of here. We asked you to name something completely made up. You said COVID. It's absolutely true. We showed that they've never isolated any particulates. They never proved that there were an actual virus. All they did was take tissue from a living being, take away its living conditions like oxygen, air, and the temperature that allows it to live. And as it dies, they go, oh, yep, there's the virus right there. They did it with a non-sick person, and they had the exact same results. An ivermectin influencer died. Now his followers are worried about their own severe symptoms. Absolutely. We've been telling people that ivermectin is also like reptile venom. You don't need horse dewormer unless you've got horses or worms coming out of your body. Are you a horse? No. Stay away from horse venom. Do a song break. I'll be back after this. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is the meme section of the week.
You and I grew up fast in the thick of it, in bad homes with the same old narratives, with loud voices and prescribed medicines. Hot, we skipped stones, it felt so American. You're so pretty, but don't try a little bit. You grew up more and healed better than I ever did. Still, you left the light on for me, I won't forget. Floyd sick knew I was caught in things I shouldn't have been. When it's all lies, and my mind's too
close, bury my head in your bones, find me and carry me home. You kept me alive.
That's Grayscale teaming up with Slowly Slowly, some of the best content music creators in the realm right now, with Kept Me Alive. And now, without further ado,
and now the wait is over. It's time for Memes of the Week, sponsored by Aluminum Foil.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy Sunday, April 6th, 2025. Let's get into the memes of the week, okay? Check this one out. This was Mike Tyson. This was Evander Holyfield's ear. After Tyson's bite, here we got AR-15 supposed bullet. There's Trump's ear. What do you think? Which one's showing actual wounds? Look at this one here. And then we got QAnon, which is the Q movement mixed with Elon, to tell them that we're going to get arrested for stealing their money on April Fool's Day. Drink your piss, megatards, glugging it down. I live in a treehouse on Saturn. Elon Musk says he'll live in a treehouse on Saturn. No one's living on a luminary, a light in the sky, okay? When they say that Idiocracy wasn't a documentary, yet Mr. Cheesehead is an American hero. Give me a hell yeah if you love Mr. Cheesehead. And he did all this, spent all this money, and the person that he was there trying to support lost. And everyone else that they're trying to support is going to lose. An expert warns Elon Musk's sale of X for 45 trillion is definitely a concern for privacy. I mean, however much more money they're going to spend, it's going to be a problem. If Doge has found billions, I meant billions, in fraud and abuse, why haven't there been any arrests? Arrests coming. Check this one out. Hey, is this still available? Yes, not surprised. Please, Creator Yehoah, give me the strength to stop arguing with people who have profile pictures like these. I mean, come on, everybody. How's that Schwab thing working out? Donald Trump considering BlackRock CEO Larry Fink as Treasury Secretary. We'll see if that happens. I highly doubt it. When they think Trump's 17% tariff on Israel is a secret message from Q, you are in a cult. It's because the letter Q is the 17th in the alphabet, so they think, oh yeah, it's a message. Absolutely insane. Let's do a song break. I'll be back after this. Let's step it up. Let's hear some, let's do some trap, okay? And after that, we'll do some house and then some drum and bass at the end of this, okay? I'll be right back.
Your love is fading. I hate the part of ever letting go. Stuck in these chains, I wasn't good enough for you, I know. Even if the night won't save us, in the dark I'll take your hand and save you. Even if they try to break us, I got you. Will you stay? Turn on darkest days, only to escape the pain. If love is a losing game, baby, I'll take the blame. Can't believe I'm fake, so blind to see. If love is a memories won't erase. Can't stand the pain, so can I hold you once again? Even if the night won't save us, in the dark I'll take your hand and save you. Even if they try to break us, I got you. If love is a losing game, baby, I'll take the blame. Can't believe I'm fake, so let me see. If love is a
You heard it first. That's Darkest Days, featuring Sandra Yvette. Come on, everybody. What a great new song to get us moving. Some trap to get the speakers bouncing. Let's get into this. We got some more memes. We got some more music. A great feel-good house song coming up next. And always some great drum and bass. Musktards on April 2nd after QAnon said arrests were happening on April Fool's Day. Whoopsie, it must have been another Quelta. QElta, I mean, they got psyoped again. There's no arrests coming. We've done this mass tariff thing 3 times in American history. 1828, 1930, and 2025. All spaced out about 100 years apart. Check that out. Because everyone who remembers the last one needs to be dead for them to get away with the next one. Uh-oh. The last 2 caused depressions. This one will totally make us rich again, though. Right? Here's 4 TikTok dances you can do to help fight tariffs. Oh, man, get out of here. Trump, making America great again. Step right up, folks. The best circus in town. I mean, sometimes it's exciting. Bondi scares me. We haven't heard much from Cash. We seen him at a hockey game the other day. Katy Perry will go into outer space aboard Blue Origin rocket on April 14th, huh? Faking space. Why do you think they're doing that? To perpetuate evolution and atheism? Wonder why. Tesla will give you a lifetime of free charging if you pay $100,000 for their Cybertruck. Getting this special edition vintage Cybertruck, you give them $100,000 and they'll either drive you off the road to not have to pay for the free charging, or they'll just burn you to death in it. I think I'll pass. When they say that we are winning, yet lumber mills are all over the place, are barely running now, Mega feels so much gooder right now. Trust the plan. Former U.S. attorney found dead at 43. Hillary, target is down. Mega waiting for those Doge checks to kick in. When you lied on your resume, but you catch on quickly. A couple of nice ones to finish this off. Deep breathing, everybody. Come on. Deep breathing. Deep breathing is one of the body's strongest self-healing tools. It lowers blood pressure, reduces the heart rate, decreases stress hormones, oxygenates blood, exercises the lung, increases physical, mental energy, and improves immunity. Did you know the number one cure for cancer is actually the human mind and the ability to actually heal the body through your thoughts and manifestation powers? It's true. It's the cure. Typical meals in the 1800s: breakfast, pasteurized egg, pasteurized pork, biscuits made with actual lard, not seed oils, and raw milk. Lunch, they generally didn't eat as much lunch, but when they did, pasteurized beef, fresh vegetables, sourdough bread with raw butter, again, raw, right? If it can stay out, you got to see if like ants and bugs will eat it. If they won't, you're eating like sludge that's coming from different products for plastic being made. Fresh fruit. For dinner, homemade super chowder. I made some delicious broccoli cheddar soup last week. I'm going to make more soup again this week. fermented veggies, delicious, raw cheese, and fresh fruit. So they would eat the larger meal in the morning, and then they would have less and less. And you can see here, there's not like 10 pounds of food, and it's a much better diet. Okay, let's do this house song break, the silent producer's pick of the week. Feel good vibes. I'll see you after this, and we'll close this out. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. New music. That's Latrell, Make You Happy, Jack Lazarus remix. What an absolute banger. That music definitely lifted up my spirits and made me happy. I hope it did the same for you. And something else that we try to do here that we need to warn you about, if the truth scares you, we will absolutely terrify you here. And that's all we do here is speak the truth, and if we can be corrected, we will stand on a higher level of truth. If possible, we always ask to be corrected. Okay? Love is who you are. It's not something that you become. It's not something that just is. It is who you are. Just like a tree has its roots in the ground, its trunk stretches up to the sky, the branches cast its way out, the leaves and sometimes fruit And a tree does what a tree is made to do, and you are made to love. Your soul knows the way, okay? Follow it. Follow the pull. Follow your soul. It's not going to lie to you. There comes a time when you have to let everything fall apart, though. When you have to stop fighting for a life you've outgrown and trust that everything still will be okay. Even if you can't see how right now, for a while, everything may feel messy and difficult. You may feel scared and lost, but embrace that darkness. Embrace the uncertainty. Embrace the loss. The dark tunnel of change actually leads to the light of possibility. The true power of what we're going through. Not what the fake right and fake left are trying to tell you, okay? That's why we're going through this right now as a group. So we have to get to the light of possibility. People don't need to be saved or rescued. People need knowledge of their own power and how to access it. They need to be taught how to think and then allowed to be thinkers, allowed to think and to be who you are and to enjoy your life. There will be people in this life who will cut you open just to see what you're made of. So go on and show them it's love. And not fake love that this world tries to sell you. Love like dedication, like being as steady as founded as a tree and showing up and doing the best that you can, sacrificing. Shout out to everybody that made any content that was in this podcast, whether you were a musician, whether you made a meme, whether you wrote a blog, whether you made a post on Twitter, made a post on any of the different social media sites, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whether you wrote a poem and I quoted it, whether you made a picture that I used, whether you just tuned in, whether you were in the chat, whether you're watching this in the future now. Thank you for being here. Please share this content with anybody that you know that's looking for new music, new memes, and the information that we share. I hope you all have a wonderful day and a great week, okay? Get out there and do some gardening. Next week, we'll have some updates on some gardening. Thanks again for everyone tuning in. Shout out to the creator and his son, most importantly, and for the small yet powerful team that help me do this each and every week. See you guys next week. And all the description links for everything else we do are in the description box. Mixtapes are made on SoundCloud. We've got Telegram groups called Reality Check Chat, and Team Yahushua Home Base, where we also have subgroups within that group. And you can learn everything. You can come follow the truth. You can be involved and have your voice heard. Thank you for tuning in. I got to go. Bye.
Me happy when I look at you, and I don't mean to be sappy. You make my skies turn blue, blue. Pure as the driven snow. Sad and lonely, I'll be there when you're cold and tired, I'll be there. I'll be there when you're sad and lonely. I'll be there when you're cold and tired. I'll be there, honey, you can hold your head up. I'll be there, honey, you can hold your head up. I'll be there, honey, never let you go, never let you go. Pure is the drift.